Hello, welcome to Market Masterclass on this last day of March, Friday the 31st of March, and we're looking at a country on the southern bulge of the northwest of Africa. We're looking at the Ivory Coast, which was formerly a French protectorate, and it's got a population of 20.4 million people. It's agricultural based. 70% of the population is involved in cash crops, and they have been through a notorious period which the whole area suffered from in the late 80s, early 90s, and in 1994 inflation was 26% in 1 year. And then in 1994 also they had a number of countries in that area, a 50% devaluation in the currency. What's the present state now? GDP is about 8.5% at the moment, with inflation only at 1%. So things are looking up. However, below the poverty line has been estimated as high as 42%. Unemployment during the civil war in Ivory Coast was up above 50%, but that's all past history now. The exports are, it's one of the world's largest producers and exporters of cacao, coffee and palm oil, and also tropical woods are important exports. As I said, cacao, coffee, palm oil, timber, petroleum, cotton, bananas, pineapples and fish. USA takes the most of 8.5%, and then you've got the Netherlands at 62.2%, France 5.6%, Germany, Nigeria, and Burkina Faso take 5.5%. And on the import front, you've got normal for the non-industrialized country. We're talking about fuel, equipment, and foodstuffs. Nigeria is the biggest. The imports, 22% of imports come from Nigeria, 4.5% to 14.5% from China. There they are again, all over Africa. France 11%, Bahamas 5%. A massive gross external debt. In 2015 December, that was estimated at 11.71 billion US dollars. Most of the funding, most of the private funding, and a lot of because of the French connection in the past, most of the income is coming from France, and then on the private sector also, and also properties are being bought by French nationals. So there's that long sort of that historical connection. One thing I haven't mentioned, they got the most modern port in the whole of West Africa at Abidjan, and it's also the port which is the center for Africa's largest tuna production or fishing. Tuna, it's Africa's largest tuna port, and we're talking about 100,000 tons of tuna per year. Sardines are also important, and they produce about 70,000 tons per year. So agriculture and fishing, the mainstays of the Ivory Coast economy. Infrastructure is quite healthy relative to other countries in the region. So that's a boost for the future of the economy. And as I said, in agricultural and fishing, with a little bit of petroleum production as well. So that's the Ivory Coast. I hope you found that useful and interesting. Bye for now.